apology for the noisy entrance that you witnessed. South Africans tend to be very passionate, and they also tend to be very jovial and noisy and loving, affectionate, and all the wonderful things. So what you witnessed there was really for you and less for me and Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. So it was for you. I hope you appreciated it. I also wish to apologize for my late arrival. I started off in the eastern part of our country, in the Eastern Cape, where we were commemorating the 23rd anniversary of a massacre that took place in our country as we were on our march to democracy, just 2 years short of our democratic day, which was in 1994. 28 people were massacred, and these were the dying pangs of the apartheid regime as it was refusing still to explode on the democratic plane. So I had to go and commemorate that, and I offer my apologies for that. I offer apologies again on behalf of our President, President Jacob Zuma, who was meant to open your Congress. He asked me to come and stand in for him because he had other duties. So that is the third apology. Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. Director General of the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, Dr. José Graziano da Silva. Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Minister Senzeni Zokwana. Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Bheki Cele. Minister of Water and Sanitation, South Africa, Mrs. Mkonyane. UN Ambassador for Forestry and Environmental, His Highness Crown Prince Laurent of Belgium, the Premier of our province here in KwaZulu-Natal, Senzo Mkhunu, the Executive Mayor of the Metropolitan City of eThekwini, James Ngumalo, honorable ministers, both of South Africa and a number of countries around the globe, heads of international agencies, national forestry and environmental organizations, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen. As we say in our country here, and particularly in this province, as we greet, we say Sanibonani, which means I see you and I greet you. I wish to extend a warm word of welcome to you all who are attending this Congress, who have come from far and afield, from a number of countries, and have graced the shores of our country with your presence. We welcome you and we thank you for being in South Africa, and those who hail from beyond Africa, we welcome you on African soil. We are sure your experience here will be both invigorating in terms of the discussions and the debates that you are going to have, and it will also be rewarding as you experience true African hospitality and South African warmth as you are taken around to various places in this wonderful and great city of Durban. We are confident this Congress will help map the future of the forestry sector as a critical pillar of the sustainable development of our planet. Our generation is called upon to make critical choices as well as critical decisions that are likely to impact on our world and its people for years to come. Forests are a crucial part of our identity, of our being, and of our life. They are a part of our shared heritage as human beings. They are central to our common future as well. They are a source of life and well-being. The world today is confronted by severe environmental challenges that affect our forests as well. Many communities across the globe are grappling with extreme weather conditions and related phenomena, such as drought and wild forest fires. We have recently experienced unprecedented drought conditions in some parts of our country, including here in KwaZulu-Natal, but many other countries on our continent have also experienced severe drought conditions. South Africa is determined to be part of the global response to the global challenge of addressing the challenges that face all of us as human beings, particularly in relation to how we can conserve our forests. Just recently, young men and women from our government's Working on Fire program, the young men and women that you saw singing for you here, they returned from Canada, where they were part of a team that fought wild land fires in the western part of that country. This Working on Fire has become one of our marquee and successful programs of integrating young people into environmental work, and particularly with regards to working on fire. They are spread throughout our country, and on an annual basis through our public employment participation programs, we are bringing in many more young people into a program of this nature. What it does is to instill a lot of discipline in young people to love the environment, or to take care of the environment, to love the work that they do, and ultimately also to love their country. The discipline that goes with what they do is quite amazing, and they have achieved unbelievable feats in our own country as they have gone around protecting our forests, and at times working in very difficult and dangerous situations. So I applaud them, and let's give them a round of applause for the work that they do. The visit to Canada gave us an opportunity to engage in international cooperation, and that helps to strengthen our ability to confront many of these transnational challenges. The global response to climate change will take center stage again in Paris in December around COP21 meeting. I'm sure your deliberations here will amplify the importance of forests in mitigating the harmful effects of climate change. This World Forestry Congress is well placed to ensure that the role of forests as the planet's carbon sink is fully understood and acknowledged. The sustainable management of our forests is therefore critical as we confront global warming. You carry the important responsibility as delegates to this Congress of making certain that the overall importance of forests is reflected in the post-2015 Sustainable Developmental Goals currently being formulated by the United Nations. The projected global population growth has cast the critical issue of food security into sharper focus. The current global population stands at about 7.1 billion people, and some projections suggest that this number will grow to around 9.3 billion by 2050. The implication of this growth is that collectively we will have to produce 70% more food than we are currently producing. A frightening prospect indeed. Our forests have historically been the source of more than just wood for many people. Many of our communities are still harvest a wide range of food products from the forest environment. The pressures of food security has in many instances resulted in deforestation as societies seek to increase their capacity to feed their people. The real challenge we will have to explore is ways in which we are able to ensure the multi-use of the land while ensuring the sustainable growth of our forestry assets. Across the globe, and particularly in large parts of the African continent, communities are confronted by a shortage of potable water. This challenge is exacerbated in times of extreme weather conditions. The role of forests in the larger picture of water security must therefore also be acknowledged, and it is something that we have to address. On our continent, permanent flowing rivers tend to originate in forested or wooded areas. As custodians of policy and legislation, we are increasingly called upon to balance the demands of plantation forestry with water rights in water-scarce environments. The pressures of development often threaten biodiversity. Policies relating to the forestry sector should therefore also be mindful of the indisputable role forests play in sustaining and protecting biodiversity. The importance of sustaining forests is often overlooked, even as we daily consume paper, packaging, and a vast range of wood products. I hope that this Congress will highlight for our public the role of forestry in their own daily lives. If we all better understand the evolving importance of the forest sector, we will develop cutting-edge technologies and attract innovators who will support and develop it and come up with new ways, new processes of doing things and improve the livelihood of people around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, hosting the first World Forestry Congress on the African continent is a distinct honor for us as South Africa, which we deeply appreciate, but it is a huge honor for our continent as well. And we are truly grateful that you have chosen to come to this continent to hold your Congress. I am pleased to note that the African Forest Forum had the foresight and dedication to ensure that Africa was able to meet and prepare for this Congress over the last 3 days. The Africa Day event tomorrow will provide a useful focus on the issues confronting the forestry sector on our own continent. I am informed that some 82% of household energy needs in Africa is supplied in the form of wood harvested from Africa's forests. That is a staggering figure. As African economies grow, the demand for sawn wood or timber and round wood is escalating on an ongoing basis in quite a dramatic way. The value of the charcoal industry, mostly involving small-scale producers, has been estimated as being in excess of $25 billion per annum. African forests continue to be the source of a wide range of non-wood products, such as fruit, spices, honey, as well as medicine. As African leaders, we clearly cannot afford to neglect a policy environment that impacts on so many lives on this continent. We need a regulatory framework that promotes a sustainable forestry sector and that recognizes its economic, hydrological, and environmental value to all our communities. In South Africa, we have a vibrant commercial forestry sector. It plays an important role in supplying our domestic wood and wood product needs, while earning valuable foreign currency through our wood chip exports. And it also provides employment opportunities to a number of people in our country. The sector presents challenges as well as opportunities. Some 50 to 60% of our plantation land is currently under land claims as part of our land restitution process. Land restitution will result in significant changes in the ownership of our country's forestry lands. Already we have more than 24,000 small growers, many of them women, who are relatively new entrants into the forestry sector. We must ensure that they have adequate support in developing their businesses. The involvement of community forest organizations from other parts of the world in this Congress is indeed a welcome opportunity for South Africa's and indeed Africa's small growers to interact with and to learn from them and to get new ideas on what they are doing and how they are succeeding. I'm very pleased to see the Congress's plans to engage the youth as they are central to the achievement of a sustainable future. We want South Africa's youth, and indeed the youth in the rest of our continent, to use this opportunity to expand their horizons and find a role for themselves in the future development of the forestry sector at home and abroad. A group of students from the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University attending the International Forestry Student Association Conference in the Philippines succeeded in bidding to host the 2017 International Forest Student Association Symposium in our country. Delegates from about 55 countries are expected to attend this. This will be another first for Africa, our continent. The 14th World Forestry Congress has a weighty and worthwhile agenda. And I believe that you have received many papers that are intelligent, clever, forward-looking, that you have to plow through. We wish you well in your deliberations and look forward to hearing your conclusions. And we hope that your conclusions, as they must, be as clever, as forward-looking as the papers that you are going to be deliberating on. We encourage you to share them with communities around the globe, because many people around the world are looking forward to the conclusions of this Congress. In that way, we can work to ensure that the peoples of the world understand and appreciate the critical importance of forests in securing a sustainable and prosperous future for all. Go ahead and put the issue of forests on national agendas of all our countries in the world, so that our people in the world can appreciate and understand the importance of your sector much more acutely and much more deeply. So we wish you the very best in your deliberations, and I wish you a very warm and pleasant stay in Durban as well. There are many people who can show you around, and I believe that some of you will be going to the townships of Durban, where you will be feted and well entertained by some of your guests. That is the best place to go when you are in Durban. Please go ahead and enjoy Durban. I wish you the very best. Thank you very much.
There was a keynote address by the Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa.